The stars were quiet. A silver ship drifted slowly near a blue planet Earth. The ship belonged to the Varelian explorers, a peaceful alien race known across the galaxy for kindness and curiosity. They never started wars. They brought gifts, songs, and stories. And now, for the first time, they were visiting Earth. Captain Elin stood tall on the bridge, his 4 eyes shining with hope. His green skin shimmered under the soft lights of the command deck. He looked proud, like a teacher before a great lesson. "We come in peace," Elin said, watching Earth through the large window. "We will speak with the humans. We will offer friendship." His crew nodded. They trusted Elin. He had led many first contact missions, but this one was different. Humans were still new to space. No one knew much about them. Their history showed violence, wars, weapons, mistakes, but also art, courage, and hope. "Opening communication channel," said First Officer Trila. Her voice was calm, but her hands moved fast across the glowing console. A face appeared. On the screen, it was a human woman, serious and calm. Her dark hair was tied back. Her uniform was simple, gray, with a single badge on her chest. She didn't smile. "This is Commander Irene Morrow of the United Terran Assembly," she said. "State your purpose." Captain Elin smiled kindly. "Greetings, Commander Morrow. We come from the Varelian Reach, beyond the stars of Deneb. Our mission is peaceful contact. We bring no weapons. Only knowledge and friendship." Commander Morrow nodded slowly. "Acknowledged. You may enter stable orbit. We are open to peaceful exchange." The screen went dark. Elin clapped his hands together. "A strong beginning. Prepare the gifts. Share our language files. Let the music play." Soon, peaceful signals flowed between the ships. Varelian poems were shared. Human songs were played in return. Images of forests, cities, oceans. Earth looked beautiful. Elin walked to the observation deck and watched the planet spin below. He felt calm. The humans were cautious, yes, but peaceful. Then the ship trembled, a soft shake, like thunder in deep water. "Captain," said Lieutenant Dren, the sensor officer, "I detect a distortion." Elin turned. "Explain." "There is a mass very close, but invisible." "Invisible?" "It's not on visual scans, but gravity says otherwise. Something huge is near us. It was not there before." Elin walked quickly to the sensor console. He looked at the readings. Dren was right. Something big was there less than 10 kilometers from them, but the screens showed nothing. Could it be a natural object? Dren shook his head. "No, it's moving with purpose. It's holding position." Elin frowned. "Send a pulse scan, light frequency sweep. Reveal the shape." The ship sent out waves of light, radio, sound, and gravity pulses. Nothing returned. And then everything changed. Space bent. Not twisted or shattered, but bent. Like glass under pressure. And from that bend, something appeared. A ship. Massive. Black. Silent. It was unlike anything the Varelians had ever seen. It looked like a blade made of night, with no lights, no sound, no markings. It floated beside them, quiet and still. Everyone on the bridge froze. "What is that?" Trila whispered. Elin's voice was low. It was cloaked. Commander Morrow's voice crackled over the comms. "You have entered human space. This is a Colossus-class defense ship. It is here to observe, nothing more." Elin stared at the warship. It wasn't observing. It was watching, waiting. It had been there the whole time, hidden in the dark. "Commander," Elin said carefully, "why was this ship hidden?" "To ensure the safety of Earth. We trust peace, but we prepare for all outcomes." It was not a threat, but it was a message. The humans had smiled, but they were never unarmed. Captain Elin sat in silence, eyes fixed on the massive human ship that had just revealed itself. It didn't move. It didn't blink. It simply existed, floating near them like a silent beast, cloaked in shadow and power. It didn't fire, Trila whispered. It didn't even speak. Because it doesn't need to, Elin replied. That ship is speaking without words. Lieutenant Dren adjusted the sensors again. Size, nearly 4 kilometers long. Heat emissions, minimal. Energy signature, extremely controlled. It's like the entire ship is asleep ... But listening, cloaking a ship that size is impossible, Trila added. At least for us. The Virelians had explored over 100 worlds. They'd studied the technologies of 30 different species. But never had they seen anything like this. The warship was not just a machine. It was a message. Then, the silence broke, but not from the humans. Captain, said Dren, we're receiving messages from other species. They're watching too. Elin turned sharply. What? 6 systems just opened encrypted lines. The Jarzan Collective, the Ryal Emissaries, even the cold-blooded Fron, they're all tuned in. Watching us. Watching Earth. Trila's voice dropped. It's not just first contact. It's a test. Elin nodded slowly. And that ship is the judge. The bridge lights dimmed slightly as a new transmission came in. It was Commander Morrow again. Her face was still calm, her voice still firm. We apologize for the sudden appearance of our vessel, she said, but we believe in caution. Many of our first contacts did not end well. Elin replied, trying to keep his tone neutral. I understand, but the presence of such a warship during peaceful contact can be seen as unsettling. Commander Morrow didn't blink. So can hidden weapons behind friendly faces. History has taught us that peace must be protected. She paused. You seem sincere, Captain Elin. That's why our ship remained silent. Elin swallowed hard. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't threaten. But every word felt like a blade. What class is that ship? He asked. She looked at him for a long moment. Classified, she answered. The transmission ended. No explanation. No details. Just silence. Trila whispered. They never meant to hide it forever. They wanted us to see it. Now, it was a lesson, Elin said. A calm warning. The Virelian crew fell quiet again. Outside, the massive Terran warship hovered in place. Its shape seemed wrong to the eyes. The black metal absorbed light, like it belonged to another universe. Suddenly, one of the Virelian younglings, an intern named Sol, spoke from the back of the room. Captain, what if they weren't showing off power? Everyone turned to look at him. What if, Sol said carefully. They're afraid? Elin's eyes narrowed. Explain. Sol pointed at the warship. They built that ... to stay hidden. It's not for attack. It's for watching, waiting. What if humans don't trust themselves? What if they know peace is fragile? And that, if it breaks, they must end it fast? The thought was chilling. Not because it was dark, but because it made sense. The Terrans had survived wars. They had destroyed themselves once, maybe twice. What kind of species builds peace, but arms it with something like that? Elin looked back at the ship. A peaceful handshake with a shadow standing behind it, ready to strike. And suddenly, the warship moved ... not fast. Not loud ... just a slow rotation, as if it was stretching ... the light from the nearby sun glinted off its hull, and the Virelians saw it. On the underside of the ship were symbols. Ancient ones ... not human. Captain, Trila's voice cracked. That warship, it's not fully Terran. What? I'm running a scan now. Some of the alloys, it's Forerunner tech. Forerunner. The ancient race that vanished. Long ago, Their tech was lost, sacred, powerful. Why would humans have it? Or worse, why would they hide that they did? Elin stepped back from the console, his heart racing. Peace had brought them here. But the silence? The silence was starting to speak too loud. Asterisk. Captain Elin stood frozen, his eyes locked on the massive Terran warship. A forerunner, symbol, clear, carved deep into its lower hull. It was a triangle wrapped in a ring of stars, an ancient sign known across the galaxy. No species used it now. No one dared. The forerunners were gone, lost thousands of years ago. Their weapons were sealed, their ruins left untouched. And yet, there it was on a Terran ship. Trila stared at the scan readings. Captain, this isn't just stolen tech. The alloys in that ship are alive. Elin's throat tightened. Living alloy? That's impossible. Not for the forerunners, she replied. And not for the humans, apparently. A new thought crept into Elin's mind, something he hadn't considered before. What if this isn't just a warship? He whispered. What if it's a relic? Dren looked up from his station. Captain, you mean they found it? Elin nodded slowly. Or worse, they awakened it. The bridge lights flickered for a moment. Then a soft tone chimed. Incoming transmission, Trila announced. It's not from Earth. Everyone tensed. Who is it from? Trila frowned. It's single quotes S. from the warship. A single message appeared on the main screen. No voice. No image. Just a line of text in perfect Virelian script. We know you see it. Do not fear. The past chose us. Elin felt his blood turn cold. Commander Morrow didn't send this, Dren said. Trila looked confused. Then who did? Before. Elin could answer. Another line appeared. We guard the gate. What gate? Sol asked from the back of the bridge. His voice trembled now. Elin stepped forward. Trila, trace the signal. Where exactly on the warship is it coming from? She worked quickly, fingers dancing over the glowing console. Captain, it's coming from deep inside the core of the ship, a sealed module. AI system? Possibly. But there's no heat signature, no network. Trila hesitated. It's like the ship is thinking on its own. Elin turned back to the window. That ship hadn't just decloaked. It had revealed something much older. Something that did not belong to humans or any living race. Then the warship moved again. This time it extended. Something just a few meters like a blade or a sensor. But it didn't scan. It projected light. A hologram. An image shimmered in space between the ships. It was a planet. Gray, burned, broken. Its surface covered in ruins. Recognize that? Elin asked. Trila shook her head. It's not in our maps. But the warship wasn't done. The hologram zoomed in. Now they saw towers, shattered domes, and strange runes carved into the stone. In the center, another forerunner symbol. The same as the one on the ship. This is a warning, Elin said. Dren looked pale. A memory, Trila added. Or a promise. Just then, the Earth comes opened again. Commander Morrow returned. This time her face looked tired. Not angry. Not proud. Just heavy. You saw it, she said. It wasn't a question. Yes, Elin replied. That ship, its forerunner. Morrow nodded. How long have your people had it? Elin asked. She looked down before answering. We didn't build it. We didn't claim it. It found us. During our third planetary war, a mining team discovered it under the Antarctic ice. A war relic buried on your own world? No, Morrow said. Buried before our world knew war. That silence returned thick and chilling. Why didn't you tell the galaxy? Elin asked. Because we didn't want it. We feared it. But when enemies rose, pirates, empires, Slavers, we had to choose. Hide it, or learn it. Elin looked out at the ship again. And now you control it? Commander Morrow's face tightened. No, we partner with it. It doesn't obey. It agrees. Elin whispered, What is it guarding? Morrow paused, then said, A gate that must never open. And the screen went black again. No more answers. Just one cold fact. The Terran ship was not just a weapon. It was a lock, and something was still knocking on the other side. Asterisk. The bridge of the Varelian ship was silent. No one moved. No one spoke. Only the soft hum of systems reminded them they were still alive. Captain Elin stood at the front window, watching the massive Terran warship drift quietly in space. Its surface reflected starlight like dark glass. Cold, heavy, watching, behind. Him, Trila whispered. A gate that must never open. What kind of gate needs a ship like that to guard it? Lieutenant Dren answered softly. One that was never supposed to be found. Elin turned. Commander Morrow said it was discovered beneath their own planet. Not built, not claimed. It found them. Trila added, and now it partners with them. That means it chooses who can even speak to it. Young Sol stepped forward. Captain, may I say something? Elin nodded. Go ahead. Sol took a breath. What if? The ship didn't just choose humans? What if it called to them? Maybe Earth wasn't the first place the gate reached. Maybe it was the last safe place. Dren looked at the boy, eyes wide. You think it was running? Elin frowned. The idea was terrifying, but not impossible. Trila, he said, open long-range archives. I want records of Forerunner energy bursts near Sol Earth system in the past 200 years. She worked fast. Got something, she said after a moment. Pulse, faint, hidden inside a solar flare 79 years ago. Same energy as the warship's core. Elin's voice dropped. It came through the star. Trila stared. It didn't. Crash into Earth. It entered Earth. On purpose. And now it was awake. Partnered with humans. Guarding something ancient. Something that wanted to come through a gate. Suddenly, the Terran warship lit up. Not fully. Just one small circular. Glow near its core. Blue, steady, pulsing like a heartbeat. Captain, Trila cried. It's sending another message across systems. The screen lit up with a wide transmission, open for all nearby species. A hologram shimmered to life on the bridge. An image of deep space appeared. Then, a structure. It looked like a cracked ring, large as a moon, floating in darkness, covered in symbols. The center of the ring glowed with strange violet light. A portal, Dren whispered. Then another image, something moving inside the ring. A creature, tall, wrong. Its body bent at strange angles. No eyes, no mouth. Just sharp limbs and glowing veins of gold. Then the message ended. The warship turned black again. No words, no explanation. Elin spoke slowly. That's what lies beyond the gate. Or what's trying to get out, Sol said. Dren looked. Sick. That thing wasn't alive, not in a natural way. Trila added, and yet it moved. It had purpose. The combs crackled again. Commander Morrow returned, her face pale, eyes tired. You saw it, she said. Yes, Elin replied. What is it? She looked directly at him. We call it the Echo. It's not a species, not a weapon. It's something the Forerunners tried to seal away. They failed. And now it's trying to return? He asked. She nodded. Every 1,000 years it sends signals. Weak ones. Enough to influence minds. Change stars. Twist planets. The warship, our partner, is a final defense. So why show us? Trila asked. Why now? Morrow's voice became harder. Because this time The echo sent a stronger pulse. And we're not sure Earth alone can hold it back. Elin felt cold. You want allies, Morrow nodded once. Or witnesses, if we fail. Silence again. Then, slowly, the Varelian ship's lights dimmed. Not from damage, from fear. Trila whispered, Captain, if the echo comes through, do we even have weapons that matter? Elin stared at the black warship, still silent, still watching. No, he said. But the humans might. And they were no longer hiding. Asterisk. The next day, the stars themselves seemed different. The Varelian crew had not slept. None dared. Every screen on the bridge showed the same images over and over again. The dark Forerunner gate, the glowing violet center, and the thing inside ... The echo. Captain Elin hadn't moved from his chair in hours. His mind kept turning, over and over. What if this wasn't just a warning? What if it was a countdown? Captain, Trila said quietly, we're receiving multiple pings across long-range sensors. Unusual frequencies. Elin straightened. From Earth? No, sir. From different parts of the sector. Small pulses, low energy. Same frequency. As the echo's gate transmission, Elin's jaw tightened. It's waking something. Lieutenant Dren tapped quickly at his console, cross-referencing the signal patterns. Oh no. What? These aren't random. They're bouncing off old Forerunner ruins. Every planet that has them, Trila whispered. It's trying to open more gates. Before Elin could respond, the Terran warship moved. This time, with purpose. The great black ship turned slowly toward the Varelian vessel, then sent a narrow communication beam. No hologram, no words. Just coordinates. Where is that? Elin asked. Dren zoomed in. A rogue moon near the Vorn Drift. Nobody lives there. Not charted on most maps. What's there? Trila scanned fast. Forerunner ruins. Sealed. Not studied. Locals called it a cursed place. They avoid it. Elin stood up. They want us to follow. Hours later, near the Vorn Drift, the Varelian vessel flew close behind the Terran warship, entering a dead system full of dust and forgotten rocks. In the distance, the moon came into view. Black, cracked, and floating alone like a ghost. And on its surface massive ruins, shaped like jagged teeth. A structure stood at the center, buried halfway under the gray soil. The Forerunner seal was visible. Cracked. The gate here? It's open, Trila said in horror. The warship stopped above the ruins. Suddenly, lights pulsed across its underbelly blue, lines tracing ancient symbols. Then, for the first time, the Terran warship spoke. Not in a human voice. Not even in a machine voice, but in something deeper. A sound that felt like it echoed inside the soul. The echo stirs. The gate weakens. Protocol 1 begins. Every being on the bridge froze. Trila's fingers trembled. Captain, we're receiving. A download. Massive files, layered encryption, and she stopped. Her eyes widened. It's battle plans. What? Elin walked quickly to her station. Thousands of them. From different Forerunner periods. Weapon designs. Emergency. Countermeasures. Instructions for planetary lockdown. Elin's voice was low. The ship has had these the whole time. Dren added, and now it's sharing them. With us. Then a second transmission arrived. This one was from Earth. Commander Morrow appeared on screen, her voice sharper than ever. Captain Elin. She said, we need your help. I'm listening. A signal burst just struck Mars colony. Our AI defenses resisted, but several systems were corrupted. If this reaches deeper, we lose control. Trila checked the Varelian systems. We're receiving similar pressure now, Captain. The echo is testing us. Elin's fists clenched. This was supposed to be peaceful, he muttered. We came to offer friendship. Share stories. Not fight ancient darkness. Commander Morrow nodded. Then fight with us. We didn't choose this either. On the screen, behind Morrow, red alert lights began flashing across her bridge. Earth's defenses were coming online. Gate pulses are increasing, Trila said. The moon's ruins are glowing. Something is moving inside. Dren looked. Up, his voice shaking. Captain, something is coming through. Asterisk, the ruined moon shook Dot at first. It was soft, a rumble deep below the surface, like distant thunder. But then came the light. Violet, flickering. Wrong. The ancient, forerunner gate at the center of the ruins split open with a hiss of burning air. Energy crackled between the broken stone towers. Dust and debris floated upward, pulled by something. Invisible, from orbit, Captain Elin watched the scene with wide eyes. Captain, Trila said, the gate is active, and something is pushing through. Evacuate the orbit path. Pull us back. The Virelian ship moved slowly, careful not to send any energy pulses that might trigger a reaction. But the Terran warship stayed where it was, still, waiting, the glowing blue lines along its hull now burned brighter. Then the voice returned, not human, not machine. The ship's core spoke again, deep, cold, final. Containment protocol breached. Initiating Phase 2. Defensive architecture unlocked. And that's when it began. The black warship split open down the middle, not breaking, but unfolding like a flower of death. Hidden ports, cannons, and energy nodes revealed themselves in layers. Some weapons looked Terran. Others alien, ancient. No known race had ever recorded such technology. The Virelians stared in stunned silence. That's not just a warship, Dren whispered. It's a guardian. Then something emerged from the gate on the moon dot. First came the limbs. Thin, black, moving like smoke. Then a body tall, twisted, pulsing with golden veins. No face, no eyes. Just hunger dot, and behind it, more shadows stirred. Trila gasped. They're coming through in numbers. Commander Morrow's voice rang out over the comm. Do not engage. Let the Guardian fire first. Stay behind its shield line. Elin looked out the viewport. The Terran ship was glowing now, runes along its frame, lighting up in layers. And then it fired. But not like normal ships. No loud blast. No bright missile. Just a sound. A wave of silence, shaped like light, burst from the warship and struck. The gate. The lead creature disintegrated instantly. No explosion. No scream. Just vanished, erased. But more kept coming. 20, then 50. Each shadow beast crawling, flying or gliding from the gate, their claws slicing through rock and time itself. They didn't make sounds, but the stars around them seemed to flicker, as if reality bent in their presence. That the Guardian fired again, this time with different weapons. One beam sliced the ground, closing part of the gate. Another wrapped itself around 3 beasts and compressed them into dust. The Virelian crew watched in awe and terror. We can't fight those things, Sol said. Nothing we have could even touch them. Elin nodded. But humans can. No. Dren corrected. That ship can. Trila added, with humans helping it, feeding it, guiding it. Commander Morrow appeared again. Her tone was urgent now. We're deploying a fleet to protect nearby systems. But that gate, it's unstable. If it fully opens, containment will fail. Elin's voice was calm now. Focused. What do you need? A strike, Morrow replied. From above, a gravity hammer device. You have one on your ship? Yes. Drop it directly into the gate. We'll cover you. A pause. And if we fail? Elin asked. She didn't blink. Then you run. Warn the rest. But don't come back. Elin stood on the launch platform of his ship, staring out as the moon broke apart. He gave the order. The gravity hammer, a large, dark object pulsing with stored energy, launched into the sky and fell like a comet dot at the same moment. The Terran Guardian ship fired its largest beam yet, a white light that split the entire surface of the moon. The hammer hit. The gate cracked. The shadows screamed, not with sound, but with presence. The entire sector felt it. Lights dimmed. Systems blinked. Stars pulsed once, unnaturally. Then silence. Real silence. The gate was gone. The shadows. Gone. The ruins collapsed into dust dot, and the Terran warship closed its weapons, folding back into stillness dot on the Varelian bridge. Everyone sat quietly dot. No one cheered. No one clapped, because they all knew something terrifying now. The humans had a god sleeping inside their fleet, and they had only just seen it open one eye. Asterisk. The battle was over. The gate on the dead moon had collapsed into ash and fractured stone. The shadows were gone, erased, not killed dash unmade dot yet. On the Varelian ship, no one felt safe dot. Captain Elin stood on the observation deck, eyes locked. On the Terran warship, it had returned to stillness, its weapons hidden once more, its lights dimmed. The glowing runes faded, but the memory of what it did stayed. We witnessed something ancient, Trila said quietly, standing beside him. Something older than fear. Lieutenant Dren added, and something Earth now calls a partner. No one replied. What words could match what they had seen? The comms pinged. Another transmission from Earth. Commander Morrow appeared one last time. Her face was calmer now, but her eyes held something new, something heavy. Captain Elin, she began, you kept your word. You stood beside us when many would have run. Earth will not forget that. Elin nodded. Neither will the Varelian people. There was a short silence. Then Morrow said something that changed everything. We're opening the records. Trila blinked. Pardon? The truth about the warship, about the gate, about the Forerunner relics. We're sharing it with the Galactic Council. Elin was shocked. You're revealing your greatest secret? Morrow's voice was firm. We have no choice. The galaxy needs to prepare. Earth may have held the first gate, but there may be others, buried, forgotten, waiting. Dren whispered. Waiting for what? Time, Morrow replied, or weakness. The screen went dark. No more messages. No more orders. Just silence once again. 2 days later, across the stars, the Galactic Council met in emergency session. Thousands of species gathered. Some were ancient and wise. Some new and cautious. Many had once looked down on humanity calling them loud, violent, unpredictable. But now they listened. Because Earth had survived the touch of the echo. Because Earth had awakened a guardian. Because Earth had stayed quiet until it was time to act. In the chambers of the Varelian archive, a new record was added. Entry 90832A. The first gate and the human warship. It read, We thought the humans were young, reckless, full of fire but little wisdom. We were wrong. They were simply prepared. Behind soft words, they carried silent weapons, not to dominate, but to protect. They knew the stars could lie, that peace was fragile. And so, while the rest of us watched the light, they watched the shadows. Captain Elin of the Varelian starship Solari Dawn elsewhere. On the outer rim of explored space, a probe floated near a dark planet. It drifted slowly, silently scanning. Suddenly, the scanner lit up. A structure, circular, buried, cracked, and, at its heart, a faint pulse. Not strong, not dangerous. Just a whisper. But in the language of old, long before time, I see you. And far away, in the Sol system, the Terran warship waited in orbit. It no longer cloaked. It no longer needed to. Because the galaxy now knew Peace is sacred, but peace without strength is a lie. And if the echo ever returned, humanity would be ready. Asterisk.